We've got 3 months left to turn this into a home. We've got a lot to do today, so if you're tagging along, let's get to cracking. My job for today was just starting this side door, so I got to sanding it down and taped up everything I didn't want covered in paint, because Lord knows I'm clumsy. And I am painting the side door with the same colour that I used on the back doors. Gorgeous, I have loads left over and it saves money. So win-win-win. I do have to say though, this door was much trickier to paint, just with the edges being hard to access, even with the door fully open. Now we're going to have to wait for this first coat to dry down, but I've had an exciting delivery, the shower. And here's me just showing off them first 2 thermal window covers before I crack on making the back 2. When that got too tedious, I cut the boards to go into these 2 compartments, the same as the back doors. Again, just using plyboard, and went straight in with a second coat of paint, trying to make sure I didn't miss any spots around that window, which was a tricky job, but as you can see, it was well worth it when I finished. I'm so happy to finally get rid of more of that white, and I'm glad I wore my painter's joggers, because we're straight on to painting this plyboard. While I was busy fannying on with the side door, Jamie had been fully fitting the diesel heater all day. He did take some videos, but I'm completely clueless, so I'll do my very best to explain it. Here's the exhaust all fitted, which we are planning on extending out a little bit further, and then he actually had to drill a hole into the fuel tank's cap at the very front of the van before connecting the fuel line, which he's doing here, and then threading that line all the way underneath of the van to the diesel heater at the very back. And as you can see, he's kept it nice and clean and tidy, making sure all of that fuel line is actually connected to the bottom of the van. And before I forget, he also heat wrapped the exhaust. Got it all wired up and then started feeding the fuel through. Now while he was cracking on with that, I decided to finally finish doing all of my thermal window covers, and I've got a fun story about them coming in tomorrow's video, before plodding on with putting the supports in for the side door to mount the boards onto, and of course doing my favourite job, insulating, which was the last job of the day. But what I didn't realise last night is this is actual footage of me drilling through the locking mechanism of my side door. On that note, I'll see you in tomorrow's video.